Hello everyone, in this video I want to talk about Python assertion. So what is a Python assertion? Let's start with an example. Do a simple example, age, let's say 25, and then we're going to assert age here to 18. Here's the syntax. So in this video I will explain how to use them to help automatically detect errors in your Python programs, and this will make your programs more reliable and easier to debug, since assertions are primarily used for debugging and testing during development, and you can disable by default in optimized code. Python assert statement is, like I said, debugging aid that tests a condition. So if the condition is true, nothing happens and your program continues to execute as normal. But if the condition evaluates to false, an assertion error exception is raised with optional error message. So let's do another example, and here we're gonna calculate the area of length and width, and we're gonna assert length and width both must be greater than 0, so otherwise you cannot do calculation. And then we're gonna return the area by multiplying length and width. So let's do some error. So here we have an error, assert must be greater than 0, and here is our assertion error. Okay, if we go back to our code and disable, and you will not get any assertion error, so you get the error. Okay, so this is one example, and then let's do another assertion example. So let's do tests at numbers. Assertions are primarily used in dev and testing, and there are some specific scenarios where you can use in production. So for crucial functionalities impacting core logic or data integrity, preconditioning assertions can be very valuable. For example, doing financial transactions, asserting proper user authentication and sufficient account balance, stuff like that. And it can be also useful when you're safeguarding against unexpected invalid inputs or system inconsistencies leading to critical errors. So also it's useful in interacting with the APIs. Assertion can serve as like a sanity checks on the received data or response. But you should not solely rely on assertions. It can be also very useful for internal APIs. So you can enforce preconditions, postconditions. So preconditions basically means before executing a function, assertion can verify that input meets expected conditions, and postconditions, like after the function's execution, assertion can guarantee it produces expected results, maintaining the consistencies within the API. So useful in data flow. And let's do another example. Let's call it tutorial 0. The example, we're gonna check the price, and we're gonna use the assert statement where we check the price should be more than 0 and less than the original price after applying a discount. So here's where we apply the discount. So here's the discount is applied. Instead of a 50% discount, we're gonna do extra 50% and see how it responds. And that's so here for this first one we have a discount, and the second one we have the assertion error. So I feel like assertions are often overlooked or under discussed compared to other concepts. I think it's because it's focused more on a fundamental topic. Like when you're learning programming, typically starts with the foundational concepts like variables, functions, and loops. And assertion, while it's important, it's considered specialized and often introduced later in the learning journey. It's also considered for a bit more advanced use cases, while beginners can use basic assertions, and their true value lies in a more complex scenarios like debugging, testing, and precondition checks. And so this area appeal more to experienced developers. Also the trade-off between benefits and drawbacks. So assertions kind of add overhead and usually disabled in optimized code, so this performance concern might overshadow their benefits for some. Other solutions like unit testing frameworks, robust error handling can achieve similar goals as assertions, or in some cases even more comprehensively. So also it's another thing is the difficulty in comparing their values. So assertions usefulness can be subtle and context dependent. So this is really a context dependent. Demonstrating their impact in practical examples require very specific cases, so which might not be easy to showcase in general discussions. However, it is important to recognize the value role assertions play in software development. So improving code quality, enhancing debugging, documenting assumptions. If you want to disable assertion, you can use either -O flag or -O disable the assertions in your code, and it will run it. See, we have this. Alright, I guess that's it.